Good morning, I'm Faye Thompson. This morning we're going to do a orange cake, and it was a recipe of my aunt that lived in Mississippi, Aunt Lyla Martin. She passed away years and years ago, and I never did see her that many times, but when I went to see her one time, she made this cake. And ever since then, I have always made it at Christmas time, but I make it a few days ahead because I eat on it while I'm doing the other Christmas food. So then what's left, I serve it to them on Christmas. But I enjoy this cake. I don't cook it that often, but I have it every Christmas. And she was a wonderful cook, and I loved her. She was a sweet person. She lived around she lived in the country on a family farm, and it was near Tupelo, Mississippi somewhere. I never did visit with her but a couple of times in my lifetime, but I really liked her a lot. First, we're going to take some Joy, and we're going to spray a couple of 8-inch cake pans. It's not a very big cake, and I don't know if everybody likes this cake much as I do or not, but it has in the icing, it has your oranges grated with the peel, and it has an apple in it. I remember one time I was watching her make this cake when I visited with her, and I said, "Why do you put the apple in it?" She says, "Oh, I don't know." Said, "It just sounded good to me." And so it sounded good to me too, so we use an apple in it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is get our mixer and start mixing up the cake mix. First of all, we're going to start mixing our liquids. We have 1 cup of Crisco oil. We have 1 cup of milk. This is whole sweet milk too. And next we have 3 eggs. This is a very simple recipe. You know, a lot of the older cooks had a basic cake that they used for lots of things. They just dressed it up with a different icings and little flavors. Okay, we're going to pour our eggs in there, and we're going to beat that up a little bit. Now we're going to add our sugar, which is 2 cups of sugar. Then we're going to add our flour. This is self-rising flour, 2 cups. You know, I have a KitchenAid mixer that I'm not using very much because it's easier to do the videos on these smaller mixers. Now, what she did was add a tiny bit of yellow food coloring, and you don't need but 1 or 2 specks of that, or drops of that. I had to use about 5 or 6 drops. You can use whatever you want to make it, see, it looks more like an orange cake. Yeah, I think that's finished now. Okay, we're going to equally divide this if we can. We're going to put these in a preheated oven. It's 350 degrees, and it cooks for about 30 minutes. And then we'll be through with the cake. Now we're going to do our icing for the cake. We're going to use 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water. We use half a cup of Karo syrup, white. We'll probably cook this on a kind of medium heat. You don't want to get too high, but what we're going to do is cook it to a soft boil. While that's heating, we're going to go ahead and chop up our orange and apple. We got 1 apple that we peeled, and we're going to put it in the food processor and just chop it up a little. And we can chop all this up together because it's mixed together. You're going to have 2 oranges, and we're going to mix them with the peeling on them. I don't think I have ever seen, no, I had never seen this recipe before. And we'll just chop this orange up a little bit. I believe we're lucky enough that we got some navel oranges that doesn't have any seeds in them. We'll just kind of cut that center part out, and that ought to do it. I'll cut around that center part and then I'll cut it out. I don't like that part in it. Smells real good. I like the smell of orange anyway. These are beautiful oranges. I picked these up at local grocery yesterday, and I didn't buy very many. I may go back and buy me some extra ones to eat. We're ready to take the cake out of the oven now. Okay, there we are. Okay, our sauce has come to a soft boil now. We're going to take it off the stove. We're going to mix our orange and apples with it. And you can mix this while it's hot, it won't hurt. This is our 2 oranges and our apple that we chopped up. That's a beautiful icing, I think. It smells so good, too. Wish you could smell it. Okay, we're going to start putting our icing on now. And we might take our little bamboo stick and punch a few holes in that so it'll be sure and run down in the cake. It's a real moist cake. Let me get the little bamboo stick. I think that's about enough on the inner layer now. We'll get our other layer. This is a little bit harder to work with as hot as the cake is. Normally you would let a cake cool off a little more than this, but the icing works better if you put it on while it's hot. We'll get what we can, but I don't think it's going to stick on the sides. You're just going to have to live with that. But it's good anyway, and it's pretty with all the pretty colors. And we'll try to get the cake covered good. Okay, now we have finished with our orange cake. And the icing will not fit on the side because the type of icing it is, it just doesn't stick real good, but I think it's pretty like it is, and you'll love this if you try it, I think. If you like oranges, it has really a distinctive orange taste to it. I hope you do try it, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we do, and I hope I see you in another video. Thank you.